That was amazing. I was very curious to see where and how you were going to take us through the journey of old time sayings. And being that this was a research and presentation speech, I was blown away with the number of old time sayings you were able to introduce. And what I loved about it was that as you introduced them, they didn't take away from what you were actually saying. Sometimes when you're using something that has the amount of options on what type of old time sayings you can pull from, it can turn into be a little bit kitschy, if you will. So the point of what you're saying can get lost in the saying itself. And somehow you were able to weave in, I didn't count exactly how many, but the number that you wove in throughout the speech was astounding. And not one time did it take away from what you were actually presenting. In addition to that, you actually then broke down 3 of the old time sayings: heavens to Betsy, cut the mustard, and nincompoop, which is also very funny. I kind of wish you would have told us what the French poop word was, because I was very curious. But nonetheless, it was fantastic. Certainly an amusing speech, which was one of your goals, and humorous. I know one of the things that I love, I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I've lived in Colorado for most of my life, but I love Southern colloquialisms. I love the way people from the South have these dynamic ways of speaking that illuminate what they're saying in a way that is so completely amusing to me, and I get made fun of for ruining them, and I don't say them correctly. So you were able to take that idea of a colloquialism, but transport us back in time 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. And I think it draws a lot of opportunity to just reflect on what people were doing, and so what their lifestyles look like. And I thought you did a really nice job with that. I love the way that you had the visuals in the background so that we could actually see the phrases. I think sometimes you can hear the phrase, but you might not be able to connect the points. And so I liked the way that you had the phrase up, as well as an image to help illuminate what that phrase actually meant. You gave us a good call to action, which some people participated in by asking, what are some old time sayings that you are familiar with? So I like the way that you did that. The structure of the speech was obviously on par. You've been speaking for a while, so that's not to be, I expected that of you. The only thing that I have for feedback was just a little bit more time to kind of think about where some of your actual statements were coming from. So for instance, cut the mustard. You kind of pondered back and forth on what that could mean. And I was pondering it as well. I was thinking, maybe mustard seed is like very strong, and so you need to cut it, otherwise it will be too potent. Heavens to Betsy, I had no idea what any of these sayings meant, to be totally honest. And so I think there could have been an opportunity for just a little bit of time for us to think about what is that origin and where did it come from, rather than just kind of moving us through it a little bit quickly. But all in all, that was amazing, and I was just completely blown away with how well researched it was and how many sayings you were able to get in. Great job.